2012, LEGO released a new line of sets called Monster Fighters, and I consider them to be some of the best sets they've ever made. Designed by the legendary Adam Grabowski, this theme consists of a wide range of sets, from trains to hovercrafts, even haunted mansions. Seriously, if you ever get the chance to check out his Bricklink credits, this guy is probably one of the best designers at the company. Some of my favorite sets I own have been worked on by this guy. But anyways, let's get into it by taking a look at the smallest set of the wave, the Swamp Creature. Coming in at 70 pieces and originally retailing for $7, this set contains two minifigures. The first being Frank Rock. Frank is designed as a motorcycle-riding rebel on a search for his lost dog. He sports a classic greaser look and two pistols. Yeah, this isn't that weird phase of LEGO where they were kinda teetering the line with their no-gun policy, which seemed like the Lone Ranger and Indiana Jones from a few years back, blatantly incorporating guns into many of its sets. But nothing screams edgy like LEGO Monster Fighters. It's not a phase, Mom, I promise. The other figure included is probably one of my favorite in the whole wave, the Swamp Creature. This is probably the best time to say that all the monsters of these sets are heavily based off the classic Universal monsters from the early to mid 20th century. A stylistic choice that is apparent throughout the whole theme and is executed flawlessly. Again, I'm getting off topic. The Swamp Creature minifigure sports a Chima-style head with a face printing covered up by a helmet, and wow. This works way better than any minifigure Chima released during its run. The printing on the minifigure is also just way too good that a $7 set from 2012 had any right to be. Moving on to the builds, however, the first and smallest of the build is the little swamp island for the Swamp Creature, fit with a fish, a frog, and a little swamp moonstone. About time I should explain what a moonstone is, though. Moonstones are the MacGuffin of the Monster Fighter line, challenging kids to collect them all to prevent Lord Vampyre from using them to plunge the Earth into permanent darkness, allowing the monsters to roam the Earth freely. Is it a simple plot? Yeah. Is it any different from the Golden Wimps in Ninjago? Not really. But the pieces are cute little collectibles, and the story is fun enough to overlook all of this. Back to the Swamp Creature. The other build for the set is a swamp boat for Frank, fit with two classic flick-fire missiles. The build of this boat is great and really sturdy, with enough detail to make this overall a great value for your money. I'd rate this set 10 out of 10 mini kits. This is by far one of the best values I've ever seen in a LEGO set, and probably my favorite set overall in the wave. Set 9462, The Mummy, was the second smallest set, sold originally for just $12. With 90 pieces and two minifigures, this set features two builds. One great one, and one that's just downright weird. But first, let's take a look at these minifigures. The first, Ann Lee, wields a crossbow with an extra arrow stored in her hair. Now, I love this minifigure so much. The crossbow arrow is such a cute and unique touch. The little garlic on her legs is such a small detail that I've only just noticed now after owning the set for over a decade. The other minifigure, the Mummy, is probably the best LEGO Mummy we've ever gotten. It has such a classic feel that even Pharaoh's Quest couldn't nail perfectly. The red eyes and the gray skin look great against the all-white body. I guess now would be a good time to tell you that this minifigure also glows in the dark. Yeah, the LEGO Monster Fighters line really went to town when it came to glow-in-the-dark elements, with almost all the sets having at least one glowing feature. I think this works best on the Mummy, though, as having a minifigure that almost completely glows in the dark is such a cool feature that almost makes you forget how bad that weird helicopter thing was. Yeah, one of the weirder builds of this wave, the helicopter whirlybird contraption, looks straight out of a cereal box. I don't even know what to say, except it just looks plain goofy. However, the Mummy's chariot looks amazing, and the skeleton horse is such a cool piece that I wish we would have seen use of in the original Ninjago pilot season. Additionally, the chariot is a cute little build that could even have some sort of arming building potential, if you were to make a Roman build or something of that sort. The same cannot be said, though, about the next set. The Werewolf is a 243-piece cry for help. Now, the car by itself is great. It has a cute 1940s or so vibe, and the use of the pistol pieces as exhaust pipes, and the silver frog on the hood is a great touch. The minifigures are great too. Major Quentin Steele is a really great explorer minifigure that has so much great detail from the pockets on his shirt to even the bullets on his strap. For 2012, the printing quality on this minifigure is amazing. The Werewolf too has an amazing special head mold that I believe may have been made exclusively for this minifigure. The tattered rags he wears look really good too, and exposes the werewolf fur underneath. The maid build of the set, however, the tree, that's where my praises end. It just looks so awkward. Like, I understand the vibe they were going for was like an Indiana Jones take the treasure type of look, but it does not transfer well. It ends up looking like a giant blob of brown and swamp green bricks. Even the tree itself doesn't look very tree-like, instead looking more like a decaying outhouse. Anyways, next up is the Vampyre hearse, and it's a great set all around. The minifigures are probably the best part, with Dr. Rodney Rathbone, the leader of the Monster Fighters, coming in this set. He features a robotic leg that at the time was the most insane thing ever to me, and he immediately became my favorite minifigure after getting this set. He also has a foil, which if you don't know, that means it's like a sword for fencing. In addition to one of the coolest minifigures in this line, it also comes with Lord Vampyre, the main villain of the Monster Fighters line. He looks great and even comes with the glow-in-the-dark headpiece, as well as some beautiful fancy suit printing. The version of this set doesn't come with a cape, but that can be fixed pretty easily, as a black cape is almost as common as a Luke's Landspeeder set. The third minifigure in this set is just a generic zombie driver, and actually, he's pretty good all around. He makes a pretty good zombie, and the lack of pupils work really well here in my opinion. My only wish with the zombie figures is that they had some sort of way that you could army build, almost like a zombie battle pack or something. That would be pretty cool in my opinion. An idea that was at least attempted was the next set, the zombies. With 447 pieces and 4 minifigures at just $40, this is a perfect set with 2 great builds. This set was made during a time in which LEGO loved making at least one set of theme exclusive to a certain retailer, which was the bane of 10-year-old me's existence, as they didn't realize you could just Google what store they were exclusive to. All that aside though, this set is pretty good, including the same zombie from the Hearst set, as well as 2 exclusive minifigures and my favorite of the Monster Fighters, Jack Hammer. He features a robotic arm with one of those weird wrench piece things for a hand, as well as having probably the drippiest outfit of all the Monster Fighters, with a jail hat and a cool vest. The other 2 minifigures in the set are the zombie groom and bride. Both are exclusive and vary in quality in my opinion. The bride looks amazing with great printing on the dress as well as a second face printing, while the groom looks... alright, there's no leg printing and a top hat instead of a hair. That's just a bit underwhelming. Build-wise, this set is great. Jack Hammer's vehicle truck thing is probably the best vehicle I've seen in the whole line, with spinning hammers being one of the most fun play features I've ever seen. The graves of the bride and groom are also fun while admittedly very stud-covered. They don't really hold up the best today, but it captures the campiness of the early 2010s LEGO design process very well. This cannot be said, however, about the next set. They can't all be winners. The Crazy Scientist and his monster is probably the worst set of the line, with the car just looking awkward and unfinished, as it tries too hard to be too many different things. The lab for the scientist doesn't feel all that special too. Reminds me of that 2012 Ultimate Spider-Man set with Doc Ock. It just feels like you buy this set solely for the minifigures, which the minifigures in the set definitely don't disappoint, with the 2 exclusive minifigures, Frankenstein and the Crazy Scientist, being great characters to add to any collection. Again, the lack of leg printing on either of them is an unfortunate choice, but the hair, especially on the scientist, is great, and a shame that it isn't used way more often. The other 2 minifigures, however, Rodney Rathbone and Major Quentin Steele, they haven't changed since the last set. Still the same old Rathbone. The next set is the Ghost Train, and is undoubtedly the most famous set of the line, with even back in the day it appearing on most of the promotional material for Monster Fighters. The minifigures in this set, probably the coolest part, with the 3 glow-in-the-dark ghosts being adorable recreations of the classic cartoon ghost style, with its cute sad little expressions, easily the best part of the set by far. The 2 Monster Fighters in this set it comes with are Frank and Ann, which, again, same as before, but better than the heroes from the Crazy Scientist and the Monster. The build, though, just really knocks it out of the park, with the plane being one of the best vehicles in the line that reminds me of the plane from the Flying Mummy attack, but I am a little biased, as it is one of my favorite sets of all time. The train, too, is great, as we don't really see that many trains sold in non-city sets, especially a train with personality, that isn't either just a normal commuter train or the Hogwarts Express. Finally, we have the last of the first wave of Monster Fighter sets, the Vampire Castle. This set is insane and way taller than you'd think at almost 15 inches. This set also features a great little sports car for the Monster Fighters that shoots the net. I must say though, that this line as a whole has knocked it out of the park when it comes to vehicles, all except for 2, are perfect and add loads of value to their respective sets. But back to the castle. It features a ton of play features, such as trapdoors, secret doors, and even a dungeon. Every self-respecting castle needs a dungeon. But where the set really sealed the deal is with the minifigures. Sure, you got your repeat Jack, Rodney, and Lord Vampyre, but you also have Lord Vampyre's bride, who has immaculate printing with a great double-sided head that shows her in the midst of biting another victim. But what really takes the cake is the 2 Bat Monster minifigures that comes with. I remember when these came out, thinking this was the most insane minifigure ever. Because when this set came out in 2012, it would be another 2 years until we saw a Man-Bat minifigure in a Batman set. And to an 8-year-old kid who had an unhealthy obsession with Man-Bat, this was crazy. A minifigure with wings? Coming from his arms? With the arms in untraditional poses? The future is now, old man. This set was really ahead of its time, though. And even the minifigures still hold up for the most part. Sure, some leg printing would be nice, but it isn't too distracting. It's also nice to see a more evil type of castle, too, as most villain hideouts aren't anywhere near as fleshed out as it feels like. But wait, there's more. Sold as a direct-to-consumer set, the Haunted House is the biggest and most often forgotten set of the Monster Fighters line. Sold as a second wave just a few months after the first sets, This haunted house set contains 2,064 pieces and 6 minifigures. On the minifigure front, this set came with no heroes but had some great monsters such as Lord Vampyre and his wife, which I guess means that this is their summer house, as well as 2 of the ghosts from the train set, which are a more than welcome addition, as well as a butler version of Frankenstein and a chef zombie that are both exclusive to the set. As for the build, this set is great, with it folding out to show 6 different rooms such as a kitchen and a bedroom. For 2012, the interior details are pretty good, and the exterior is just great, with boarded up windows and the shutters coming off the hinges is a great detail. I especially like how the columns in the front entrance feature zombie heads on top. This set holds up today, even when compared to the haunted house from just a few years ago. A statement that I would say stands true for most of the sets as a whole, which really just goes to show you how great of a theme Monster Fighter really was. Which is a statement I can't say for Nexo Knights.